Today on Business Talk, we're going to look at the growing Muslim apps. As the world's second largest religion, Islam's growing population presents a significant opportunity for the Islamic industry, particularly in the areas of digital innovation and application development. With over 2 billion followers, this creates an opportunity for the development of applications that help Muslims practice their faith. Islamic apps also serve to bridge the gap between tradition and modernity, from basic prayer reminder apps to sophisticated platforms for community engagement. Islamic banking is also expanding rapidly. And now let's deep dive into this topic and the advancement of Islamic apps. We're now joined by Bitsmedia Pte Ltd, the company behind Muslim Pro, a popular Muslim lifestyle app with over 170 million downloads. Joining us is the Managing Director and CEO, Nafees Khundker. Nafees, thank you so much for joining us here in See Today Business. So, given that your app has been downloaded for over 170 million times in more than 190 countries, what insight have you gained about the needs and also the preferences of the global Muslim community?
Thank you. Firstly, over the years, we have actually managed to build a global digital community based on faith, values, and a shared connection to Islam, right? So everyone has a common purpose, and that's how we built it. And of course, at the same time, over the years, we have gathered a lot of data about user preferences. At the same time, direct feedback from users, which we work on. So a few things come up to my mind straight away. Firstly is accuracy of information. You need to provide the correct information so that users can practice their faith wherever they are. This could be in sitting in Indonesia or a remotest town in US. Doesn't matter. You have to provide accurate information. That's the key, because trust is extremely important. This will build trust, and based on that trust, users will come back again and again to our app. Secondly, accessibility. We had to make this accessible to everyone or anyone really who wants to use it. And that could mean that it could be from any location or different types of devices. Thirdly, localization, which is also extremely important, because as and when users start using more and more features, they want more localization and customization. They want more of what they need. Like users in Indonesia, they use it for prayer times and Qibla like anyone else, but they're also very strong users of the Quran feature that we have, where they use it for learning. So same way, you have users in the West who use us actually for even more, where we have a content platform and they use us even for content, because over there, accessibility to content is not so easy, or accessibility to reliable Islamic content is not so easy. So localization and customization from that side is extremely important. And we have been trying hard to actually cater to all these different needs.
I see. So, Nafees, considering that it is very specific to a particular religion, what challenges do you encounter as a religious-based app in today's digital landscape? Because it's very packed out there.
Sure. Again, being in 190 countries makes it even more complex and more difficult. And the first challenge that we have is the regulatory aspect. If we have to actually ensure that in terms of regulations, we comply with every single country in terms of data protection, data privacy, content, and of course, religious expressions as well. So that's number one. And we are extremely careful about this. And you may be aware, in 2020, there was also news about us selling data, and then that naturally raised concerns. And I want to be very clear, just because I touched upon it, is we never sold any data or any personal data to US military or anyone. But just the fact that something came up or someone said it, actually, there was a huge rara about it for absolutely no reason. So we understand that. And we are always very, very careful in doing whatever in rolling out any new feature or anything. We have our internal experts and our external experts looking at it so that we abide by the regulatory aspects. Second would be the cultural diversity. If you look at it, even Southeast Asia and South Asia, within Muslims, you have different cultural preferences. We actually have to think about it before we actually launch any product, and we need to localize different versions of the app so that everyone actually finds what they really need. Thirdly, the other thing is technology and accessibility, right? So the internet speed in Indonesia and a remote part in India, they are not the same. Again, US, not the same. They're probably in a different league altogether, right? So, but we have to make sure that app is light enough so that any smartphone can actually access the app. At the same time, different, even if your internet speed is not very strong, you can still access the app. Totally, and that's one of the most important one, and we have to constantly think about it, is the technology itself is moving very fast. Everyone, I mean, every conversation you have now, you talk about AI, right? And we have to build new features. We have built-in AI features. We have built in a very smart AI search engine inside our app. But at the same time, we also have to, when we actually launch these products, we have to also understand that everyone with their speed and the phone speed actually can access all of these. At the same time, if we don't do it, our app cannot be too heavy and take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we don't do it, someone else can actually come up with a new technology and do better things. So being global, actually, we have a lot of these challenges that on a day-to-day come, and then we have to think about them every single time.
Well, despite all of the technicalities and also difficulties that you uttered before, but you managed to achieve significant popularity in countries with minority Muslim populations, such as the US and the UK. How can you walk us through that? How is it your method on creating such an interest in such countries?
Okay. I mean, it's actually very interesting, and I'll go back and share something else with you. When we first launched, this app was actually launched for Indonesia. But very quickly, we found out that the growth rate was much faster in the West. And one of the reasons is if you really look at a particular need for an app giving you utility services, it's the most in the West, because you don't have a mosque in every single corner. You don't hear the azan everywhere you go. So you really need an app to guide you to perform your Islamic faith on a daily basis. So we very quickly went in and everyone started using us for our utility services in the West. We started growing in both Asia and US, but US was faster, or US and UK were faster initially because of the need that they have. But on top of that, what we did after that is, because there was such a strong need, we went in and started offering the other services. Like, we have a very strong Quran learning feature within the app. Again, in the West, they don't have a lot of local teachers to teach kids the Quran, or have translations, transliteration, analysis of the Quran. It's not available. So we did very well over there. After that, we launched even our content platform, Callbox, which again has more than 1,200 hours of Islamic content, drama, documentaries, faith, AI-based historic movies or series. So again, getting content like that in the West is not so easy. So real moderated content and children's content that we have became extremely popular in the West. So that's why we have been very, very strong in both Europe and US.
Okay, but aside, you were mentioning about how you created the first to be launched in Indonesia. Now, aside of that, with the largest user base about 12 million users, representing 10% of your total. What other factors do you believe contribute to this high level of engagement?
I mean, I think it's a bit of all the things that I mentioned earlier. We have actually managed to customize our app or localize our app for different markets. So we are today available in 190 countries, but we also have 60 different languages in our app. And even the Quran has 20 different translations within the app. You can listen to the Quran just like you listen to music on Spotify. We have made it very easy for people to use. And the other thing we've done is we did not stay just as a simple utility app for prayer times. We started going deeper. We started providing more services that our users want, so that once they trust us and they look for different things, they can come to us. And if we provide that service, and if we actually provide the correct information and the correct service and correct products that they're looking for, they're actually happier because this is a brand name that they can trust. I think that's one of the major reasons that we have grown with our users. And it's about your own faith and how easy it is, right? Today, I mean, no one wants to carry around a Quran. And we have one more thing just to add to that, that our Ask Aideen, which is our AI-based search bot, it can actually find within seconds if something is mentioned in the Quran and what does the Quran actually say about it. You can ask any question and it will only go to the Quran and two different hadiths and give you an analysis. Okay. If you went to a browser and did that, that would have probably given you verified, unverified, and different options and different information from different places, right?
Yes, that's true.
For us, we were very, very clear. We took 6 months to train this AI model. So I think over the years, that's how we have grown with the users, and that's why we managed to keep growing with the user base.
All right, Nafees Khundker, thank you so much for this conversation with us in See Today Business. And also, thank you for helping a lot of Muslims out there.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so that was our conversation on the rise of the Islamic app for today's Business Talk. You can stay connected with us on our socials. We are on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Our handle is at CToday News. We're also available online at ctodaynews.com. Let's stay connected.